Alright guys, we are back with episode 12 and a half today. This is our warehouse build. So I had HS Customs comment on my video and he told me that you can actually walk up to that table there and remove the roof of the warehouse. So we are going to extend this video a little bit, delete these center racks, and just add to our build. This won't be a super long video guys, but we are going to add more racks and just kind of fill in the space better. It was kind of a little empty and you know, it would have worked, but this is so much better. And every warehouse in that pack you can do this with. So look for that little wooden table there and you can remove the roof on it. So we're going to do double-sided pallet racking and we are going to add a second level to it. Now this is part of the placeable warehouse object pack. It is in the mod hub guys. This is all on console. Keep in mind everything that you see me do is done on my Xbox, so you can do it too. And I will try and list some mods. If I don't list some mod guys, just pause the video, look in the bottom left hand corner and it is right there. Otherwise guys, exciting stuff. Tomorrow, November 4th, we have the new DLC, the Highland Fishing expansion dropping. I will be starting a new series on that map. And we're gonna do like an actual survival series, so you guys will see me actually play. That will be interesting, so keep an eye out for that guys. Otherwise, let's keep on our building. Alright, so we're just gonna add a couple there. All of these gonna be just too high. We don't need it much higher than that. I don't want too much to clutter up the space and kind of, you know, it gets overwhelming, right? So we're just going to kind of keep in mind how much we are adding and try and make it look a little realistic and used. I do think I am going to rebuild this on another map and use this as an actual truck shop, like a custom truck shop. I think that would be really cool. You'd be able to back like the Load King flatbed trailers up there to the loading dock, and you could just load vehicles straight on, which I think would be really cool. So I might try that in another episode. It would be on a different save though, so we might just add that to a different series or something. If you guys want to see that though, let me know in the comments and I will gladly do that. Alright, we are going to throw just some decorations in here. I don't want to like have this much empty pallet racking. I really don't plan to get too many crates. So I think that we will try and fill in as much as we can here. Going through, these are just all decorations, guys. When you go through the mod hub, just download all the decoration packs. It is 100% worth it. You'll never regret it. It does take up some space, but I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do with it. I'm kind of thinking of this warehouse as like a construction materials warehouse. So we're going to put just a whole bunch of different bricks. I think that might be bags of cement. I don't really know. It might be bags of feed too, but kind of looks like a bag of cement if you ask me. So we're going to throw that there. We'll throw some pipes up here on this big heavy duty pallet racking. There is dunnage under it, so you can quote unquote pick it up with a forklift. This one you can't actually because it's decorations. There is one in dynamic objects that is the exact same thing that you can pick up with a forklift by hand, strap it down, do all of that for your roleplay. So that other mod pack is dynamic objects, and that will be sold like a vehicle basically, and it'll show up where vehicles show up. Totally worth getting that mod pack. Right here is just like a little crate with some boxes in it. We're gonna throw that down there. Otherwise, like I said, we're just kind of throwing a whole bunch of different boxes and shipping and receiving things, construction materials, things like that. Here's a little stack of pallets. We'll put that right there. You know, they emptied those pallets off, or they just have them there in case they need them. Maybe there's a broken pallet that comes in on a trailer, so we'll put that there. Searching through, there's some wood. We will throw a stack of wood there. Yeah. And then this, whatever that is, it's wrapped up nice and neat and in a nice little crate. We'll put that up there in storage, right? Throw that right there. Somebody had intentions of putting it away, but Steven hasn't gotten to it yet. Darn Steven. That one there kind of has like a water bottle on it, so I kind of figured tucked in the corner, it's kind of fitting. We will throw this little barricade here just in case you want to park the forklift there, something like that. I think that that would be a good spot to fill that void for the forklift. We got more wood here. We'll throw that wood up there. Throw the wood. All right, there's a little bit more. Continuing through, let's just see if there's anything else. I mean, like I said, we're just gonna kind of try and fill in the pallet racking. We've only really focused on this inside the main warehouse right now, so we will have to move over to the side shop and things like that. But like I said, this would kind of be a really cool, like, custom pickup truck shop. This little crate has some wheels on the bottom, so I like to think of that as, like, you know, just being easier to move around whatever you're moving around in the warehouse. We'll stack some boxes there. These are just, you know, empty folded up boxes that need to be unfolded, but in all the warehouses I've ever been in, boxes are everywhere. So we'll throw a few of those down. I don't really know what's in these containers, but they kind of look fitting down there, so we'll throw those there. Alright, let's see what else we got. That's about it for our decorations. Let's go through others here. Now, others is never really going to have a ton of things. They do have these empty pallets though, so let's just throw some empty pallets around and kind of make a messy looking. We'll make our own little pallet stacks. I'm not making these perfect because nobody stacks pallets nicely in a warehouse, especially when they're just like throwaways or just extras. So we will throw stacks of them all over the place, just, you know, for the effect of it. It's all in the small details. So I see these ground textures here. I did try and place them. For some reason they don't show up, obviously because it's in a building and it's raised up there. Not a big deal. I did find this other smaller pallet racking, and I decided to throw a few more in this room here just to kind of fill in that space a little bit better once again, just because it felt a little empty over here. It just felt like it had a big void. But I mean, if you did do a custom like pickup truck shop, this could be like an oil change bay. The other area up there could be like a showroom area or a loading area, you know, reveal area, anything like that. You could do some really cool things. This could be a dealership. This could be an amazing dealership if you did it right. I mean, you'd have a full service shop and everything with lifts. You'd be able to place the lifts wherever. Or it could just be a really big, like, above ground man cave, you know? Like, think about those YouTubers on those car pages that have, like, the massive shops. You could literally do that and just have, like, a big truck shop. The ideas are endless with this shop, guys. Like, it's such a neat place and such a cool mod. I guess I don't really know how a pickup would go around that ramp on the inside there. But I mean, if you brought them in on a flatbed, you could get them up to the top there or find a way. I mean, you could make it work if you really wanted to. You could probably put a bridge there and make a bridge up over. I don't know. You could make it work. Alright guys, sorry, I kind of went on a little tangent there, but we're just placing objects. Once again, these are all the same decorations that we placed in the front shop, so don't really need too much explanation on those. Like I said, there's really not too much that we're doing that's special here. We're just adding decorations, filling in the voids, and making it look like it's an actual used property. I was going to throw that out by the dumpster there, but figured that looked a little too messy. I mean, I don't want this to look like a rundown, like, trashy place. I want it to look nice on the outside, maybe have a ton of stuff on the inside, but that's not really a big deal. Now, do keep in mind, guys, while you are building, if it's not letting you place something somewhere, press Y or triangle, depending on what console you're on. And also watch your slot count. In the bottom left corner where you see those squares, that's your slot count for the map. So right now we're over 2,000 out of 3,500. So keep that in mind. Vehicles take up space, houses take up space. Decorations, trees, grass takes up space on the map. So keep that in mind while you're building. If you fill up your slots completely, you have to start deleting things. It is really unfortunate. So be very careful, and that's why I use a lot of decoration vehicles and things like that, because decoration vehicles only take one slot usually. So just be mindful of that, guys, and be very careful while you're building to not place too much. So with this warehouse, it would be easy to go overboard, especially if you put, you know, extra vehicles here and lifts, all that stuff, it could get pretty full pretty fast on your map. We're going to think of this as kind of like a shipping and receiving kind of like of materials for the warehouse. So we're going to kind of put like a whole bunch of stuff like that in there. All right, there's really not too much more that we're gonna throw into this, guys. I don't know why my semi-trailer keeps on getting wonky. I keep fixing it. I keep doing it, like I fixed it right before I started recording this, and for some reason it's still got all wonky and sideways like that. So I will have to go ahead and adjust that, but that's not a big deal. We're gonna kind of throw a few things on these racks here. It looks like this is a pretty big crate with some wood on the bottom so you can still, you know, quote unquote lift it. This big crate here just kind of looked fitting to throw off to the side there. Once again though, we don't want to get too much in here. We don't want to clutter it up and make it look overwhelming and messy. That's not our goal. We want it to look nice and usable and like a good space, you know what I mean? So just be mindful where you're placing things. I was going to consider placing some of these barricades there to make like a walkway. And then I remembered that there is actually some paint stripes. So those are a little bit further down here in decorations, but I kind of got distracted by these boxes. So we throw a whole bunch of boxes in here. You know the vibes. Continuing down here, we'll just see what else we got. I do like that one. We'll throw another one up there. Boom, boom. You know what it is. All right. Cycling down. There are those yellow lines. So I was going to paint a yellow like caution area, but when I placed it, it just disappeared like the ground textures. So that idea went out the window. Can't do it. Not a huge deal though. Once again, I'm not too upset about that. But here we are, guys. This is our warehouse. Look at that. Now you can put your own pallets and crates in here or the dynamic objects and fill this space up as your own, guys. Hey, if you haven't already, join the Discord. Drop your builds in there. I'd love to see them. Otherwise, thank you. Until next time, have a good one, guys.